Woo-hoo-hoo! We're here, baby. My name is Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. We're streaming live right now in 3 different places on a special... Sorry, I'm getting all worked up. On a special Wednesday edition of the show. Welcome to a Jets watch party. We will be live reacting to Aaron Rodgers joining the Pat McAfee Show. That's happening in 15 minutes. And again, just a sneak peek, this is exactly what's going to be happening. Pat McAfee is right here. He's live. You can see it right over here. I'm like pointing wrong, but right here. Right over here. I'm like doing a horrible job of pointing. But right there, Pat McAfee is live. So we're going to put that aside. When Aaron Rodgers joins, we will bring you up the live stream. You guys will be able to see it. You will see me. I will see you. You could dive in the comments section, and we could get crazy. Because is Aaron Rodgers going to say whether or not he's going to be a member of the New York Jets? Real quick, before we get there. Again, we're streaming live right now on our Facebook page, Heavy on Jets. 31,000 New York Jet fans right now. On YouTube, youtube.com/BoyGreen25, baby. And on Twitter, @BoyGreen25 as well. Again, this is the Jets official watch party, live reaction to Aaron Rodgers on the Pat McAfee Show. Now, of course, yesterday, Pat McAfee announced around 5 o'clock or so, somewhere in that range, that Aaron Rodgers reached out to him to come on the show and to make it happen. And guys, I want this to be a party. I want to hear your reactions and see what's going to happen because we're going to find out. I am losing my bananas. In 14 minutes, Aaron Rodgers, and again, they're right over here. We're waiting for them. They're right over here. And AJ Hawk is now joining the show, but Aaron Rodgers will be joining at 1 o'clock. We'll show it to you guys live. It's on mute right now, but you guys will be able to hear the audio. And we're all going to find out together. I will say this right off the top. I believe it's happening. And by it's happening, let's really dive into what that means real quick before we get this party started. Aaron Rodgers is not normally on the Pat McAfee Show during the offseason. We're in the offseason right now. Aaron Rodgers' season's been over for over 2 months, okay? It's been over for 2 months. He is choosing to come on the show today. And if you guys, and I know there are some Jet fans out there that are hesitant to believe that Aaron Rodgers is going to say anything, that we're going to come up to 1 o'clock and he's going to say a whole lot of nothing and say, I don't know, we'll see. Here's this from Pat McAfee to kick off the beginning of the show. I'm going to read you guys this quote. We won't play the clip. I'll just read it to you here. Okay. Aaron Rodgers sent Pat McAfee a text last night that said, quote, hey, I think it's time. Quote, I think it's time to let the world hear where we are at. That from Aaron Rodgers to Pat McAfee. And then Pat McAfee said, hey, can I let the rest of the world know that you're going to be coming on the show? He said, let's do it. We are going to know. Aaron Rodgers will be joining virtually. Okay? He will be joining virtually, and we will know what he's going to do. To me, we could get some guesses going on in the comments. Feel free, guys, on what you believe. When he pops up on the screen, I think we're going to know immediately. Or he's going to have like a Jets hat or something, and then boop, throw it on and say, I'm going to New York, baby. We're going to New York. That's what I believe is going to happen. But I think we're going to know. He's going to say whatever's going to happen. He's either going to say, I'm going to the Jets, or I'm retiring, or going back to the Packers, I guess. I believe it's happening. So again, we will hear live at 1 o'clock. And again, we're still 12 minutes away, but Pat McAfee Show hanging on over here. That is live right now. That is the live feed of Pat McAfee Show. We will have that live on the show. You'll see my face, Pat McAfee, and all your guys' reactions, of course, as well. And we'll also hear that audio. All right, let's welcome a few people in here. Again, guys, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you guys like the video. Hit subscribe down below. We surpassed 4,000 subscribers yesterday. Thank you, Jet fans. And hell, we could be going a lot higher than that with Aaron frickin' Rodgers potentially coming to town. So thank you guys for the support. I saw this one at 6 a.m. because we sent out this live stream out last night from Dakota J. Trey Wingo knows what he's talking about. He just knows. I watched his video first thing when I woke up this morning, and I watched it closely twice. And that video, of course, he's talking about is the big Aaron Rodgers article update we gave last night. Trey Wingo did an extended interview with Ari Meroff. He is at My Sports Update on Twitter for our Twitter folks in the room. and he works for the 33rd team, and he expanded upon his tweet that went viral 2 days ago of where Trey Wingo said the deal is done between the Jets and Packers. He gave a lot of interesting details, including he believes, Trey Wingo, from who he's talked to, the trade's been done since last Friday. It's all about window dressing, essentially, and presenting it the right way. And we'll find out today. And that's going to be such a calming presence. Now, even if Aaron Rodgers says today that I'm going to the Jets, maybe the trade isn't then official immediately, and we were talking trade details, and we'll get into that. I see a few of your guys' comments. But still, to me, the drama is over. As soon as Aaron Rodgers says, I'm going to the Jets, or anything of that nature, it's over. We can celebrate. We can pop the bubbly and then pop the bubbly again when it's actually official. That's the news we've been waiting for. Aaron Rodgers has not said publicly, I want to go to the Jets. I'm playing for the Jets. He has not said any of that. So if that changes today, that's massive. That is the thing we're waiting for. So I'm excited. Randolfo here. Awesome. Let's go Jets. Oh, this is so exciting. Basil Heath. He loves the drama. He could stay in Green Bay. No, hell no, man. He's worth it. He's worth it. We saw in those touchdown passes. We ain't going to be thinking that way. That's for sure. Eric Weinstein, Jet Press, a few minutes ago said the Packers want more for Rodgers and could hold out until draft day. If that happens, there's a very good chance the Jets will get fed up and the Patriots will move in to grab Rodgers. Let me address that. I saw that report earlier today. To me, I think that's malarkey. If Aaron Rodgers, in a few minutes, again, we're 9 minutes away. I can't wait. I'm like on the edge of my seat. That's why we had to go live early. If Aaron Rodgers says on the television, right now, in theory, right? Let's play out your thing, Eric. I did see the report. The Packers hold the hammer. They're like, hey, we want 1 million picks. Why wouldn't they? Of course, you should ask for the world if you're the Packers. I don't blame them. But if Aaron Rodgers comes on Pat McAfee and says, I want to go to the Jets, then all of a sudden that hammer, poo, poo, the Pillsbury Doughboy, you poke him in the belly button, poo, that's where that goes. That's gone. It's over. It's over because all your leverage you seemingly had. Aaron Rodgers said he wants to play for the Jets, and now the Jets know he wants to play for him. He's like, all right, now let's roll. Let's figure it out. So I don't think it's going to drag out till draft day. I think all that's nonsense. I'm calling BS. I heard the report. It was from Adam Schefter. Adam Schefter has been kind of hit and miss on this story. I don't buy it. Don't buy it. I think this is going to be happening here in the next bid. The draft is a month and a half away. There is no way. Let's go to JSCBW. What's going on? Champagne at the ready? I don't have literal champagne, like a Gatorade, Glacial Freeze, a little Mountain Dew, perhaps, a couple of different liquids. No champagne, but we'll be popping the virtual champagne if that happens. Oh, yes, it's ready. I'm excited. NYY, let's go. Love it. JS. Will Boy Green survive this announcement? No is a slight favorite right now, and I don't blame it. I don't blame the odd makers right now because we're 8 minutes away, and you guys are kind of helping me. As I'm kind of talking about this, it's helping the time go because we will go live, and again, it's right over here. Again, we have the live stream up. That is Pat McAfee and AJ Hawk. Again, Aaron Rodgers set to join in 7 minutes, so we will, again, have them live, us live, both at the same time. I do not know if I will survive. Good or bad, for that matter, because, like, good, I may have a heart attack live on the show, which could be good for views, I suppose. But on the other side, if he says, I'm retiring, or I'm going back to the Packers, I may die. And then my soul, you may see my soul leave my body and go to hell or wherever the hell it's going to go. So we'll see. Philip Johnson on YouTube, what are we giving up to get him? Again, here's what I've understood, what I believe. It will be a second this year. That's 43rd overall. That's also why this draft thing coming up, for them to get that pick last second doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. So second this year, 43rd overall is what I believe. And then next year, like a conditional 4, maybe a conditional 3 that can elevate and go higher on the scale if certain things happen. Jets make the playoffs. Jets go to the Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers plays more than one season. Some conditional nature of that world. I think that's a package. I also think players could be involved. A Corey Davis could certainly be going to Green Bay. A Jeremy Ruckert could certainly be going to Green Bay. Keep an eye out for that. I could see any of that happening, but I think like a 2 and a 4 in players, and maybe players affect the pick somehow. Alex, he's not going to make a decision. I'd be surprised, Alex. From what we just heard, that, again, this is from Pat McAfee at the top of the show, in case you guys missed it. This is what Pat McAfee said. Pat McAfee said at the beginning of his own show that started 54 minutes ago. I received a text last night that said, hey, I think it's time. This is from Aaron Rodgers. I think it's time to let the world know where we're at. There's no way that was the legitimate text that came in, and that he's going to come on and just dance around and not give a decision. There's no way, in my opinion. I don't see it, Alex. Do not see it. I know there's a lot of pessimistic Jet fans out there, but I don't see it, man. Frank, get the uni ready, baby. Again, wouldn't that be cool? The camera goes to Aaron Rodgers because it's digital, right? He's going to jump on the stream. Joe Namath is handing him number 12. Now, that could happen at the press conference or something. Yes. Print it out, Frankie. Get it out. You just got another subscriber. Alex, thank you so much, man, for joining the army, baby. I love it. All right, let me see. Let me go through a few more comments here. We're 5 minutes away. 5 minutes! I can see the stream below. You guys can't see it, but as soon as Aaron Rodgers goes, we're turning off the mute. We're going there. We'll just react live to all of it. Steven, let's see if I can get through all of these as I can. Hey, Paul, if he says he wants to retire, I'm going to reach into my phone personally and strangle his ass. As will I, Steven. That would kill me. If he dragged this all the way out to just say he'll retire, I would lose it. So I don't think that's going to happen. David King, this sucks. Celebrate what? Aaron Rodgers, maybe 5 years ago. He won MVP 2 out of the last 3 years, David. For Pete's sake, people are talking like he's washed. That would be one of the things that also would surprise me. If all of a sudden, like, Aaron Rodgers came to the Jets and then he was just terrible, that would stun me. Because even last year, there was extenuating circumstances towards his quote-unquote bad season, broken thumb and everything else. I don't buy it, man. Don't buy it. Congrats on 4K. Now on to 5K. 100%. That's how I keep looking, man. Every bar gets set. We go to the next one. A year ago, at this time in March, we were trying to get 1,000 subscribers. Now, the fact of the matter that we're already over 4,000 now and heading to 5,000. It's amazing. Rico, the Poyer back to Buffalo after checking the market, probably. Eric Weinstein, P.S. Mayfield will be the quarterback for the Bucs. Expect the price of Minshew backing up. Hopefully Rodgers to go way up. Yeah, $4 million deal, not bad. $8.5 million with incentives. I'd rather have Geno Smith back than about to retire Aaron Rodgers. Geno Smith has re-signed with the Seattle Seahawks, so that won't be happening. And a couple more here. This has to end now. Go Jets. We can only hope. JS, Green Bay may not hold all the cards. If Jets walk away, Green Bay has a $60 million cap room, and they want to move to Jordan Love. So I don't think they have all the power that they think they do. Brennan, real quick. Where Aaron Rodgers coming to New York, in your opinion, help Zach Wilson? Again, hurt. That's what I would say. It's his idol, and it can only help. Now, I'm not saying that guarantees he waves a magic wand. All of a sudden, Zach Wilson's a franchise quarterback. I'm not sure about that. Did the Jets start pre-selling Rodgers jet jersey if he confirms he's going to New York? Probably not, because, again, all the trade stuff that has to go through. Maybe that can come very quickly. And the Jets are normally really slow with jersey allotments. I think this will be a unique situation, obviously. Hopping between you, Matt, and Ryan, all got my thumbs up. Thanks, guys. Yeah, we got a lot of great content creators. So, guys, spread the love. Do whatever you'd like. I appreciate you guys being on here. Charles M. Can Rodgers, as a player, even confirm a trade? Reports are that it's still not done. Yes, he can. Aaron Rodgers could do whatever the hell he wants. He could say right now, hey, baby, I'm going to the Jets. And then all of a sudden, then we could celebrate, because if he says he's going to the Jets, it's going to happen. It's a mere formality. Scott, I'm a Packers fan. My best case scenario is he goes to Jets, wins 2 Super Bowls, Loves gets better and better, and we get 13 years Hall of Fame play from Love, and then you guys trade him to us in 15 years. Perhaps. Again, I think if Aaron Rodgers wins 1 Super Bowl, he's probably walking away, but who knows? Any news yet on the signing? Again, it won't be a signing. It'll just be kind of him saying he'll be traded. So it's a trade, although contract will be reworked. Again, we're 2 minutes away. We're about to bring it up on the big screen here. I'm just, I'm over the Rodgers stuff. Prima donna. Okay. Exponential growth, Boy Green. Keep it up. I love it, baby. Here we are, Paul. Matthias. Jets. Better not give up the 13th pick. I agree. Is this the day? I do believe it is. All right. Without further ado, guys, we're going to throw it up here on the big screen. Here is Pat McAfee. Let me unmute it for you guys. Okay.
Aaron Rodgers will be on the other side of this break. Thank you for your service. Jeff, we appreciate that.
Jeff, I came at you, but thanks.
DeAndre Hopkins and his agent are happy that you reported that.
You gotta be at the dance. Connor, too, he just said the shit in the back room. Hey, man, call your boy D-Hop. We really need him for the paper. I agree. Get an offer done then. Come on.
Aaron Rodgers
that was like a, hey.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Hey, we're doing stuff.
Wheels are in motion.
That was a maybe, bro. Why you gotta be so angry all the time?
All this is other teams. Okay, shit. No. Patriots are calling. We better jump in now.
You guys are dead. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, shit, we're about to talk to a guy that might be playing in the division. So, yeah, I would say we're kind of fucked.
Speaking of, good call, good transition. Let's take a 2 to 3 minute break. And on the other side, Aaron Rodgers will be here for the first time, long time. A lot to talk about. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. Take 5.
Oh my God, guys. Oh my gosh. Is this going to happen in the next few minutes? I'm going to
Why
lose
is football the greatest sport on earth? And do you think football is the greatest sport on earth? And why do you like football?
That's a really deep question there, Pat.
I know. I think I'd get a good answer out of you, though. Like, I think you'd be able to talk about it in a way that I think a lot of people haven't, because you've been at the pinnacle of it for so damn long and inside of it. And your brain is a pretty fantastic one. We've learned here over the last few weeks, obviously. Last few weeks, that's it. That's all the time we've learned that.
I think it's the greatest sport in the world for one main reason. It is a true team sport where it is damn near impossible for one person to dominate an entire game. If you look at other team sports, basketball with 5 guys on the court, I think you've seen multiple players over the years. Maybe one player, maybe 1 or 2 players on a squad.
Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh.
Baseball, you can have a
I
dominant
can't handle
pitcher,
it, guys.
and win championships. Soccer, you can have a dominant forward.
Do we find out
and
immediately? Do we find out at the end of the interview?
Team sport, but
is he wearing a Rodgers or a Jets hat? I don't know.
At the same time on every play, it is truly a sport reliant on every player on the field to do their job in order to be successful.
Oh my goodness!
And I think that's why at times, certain star players can get maybe too much credit.
About to
and
get
too much blame.
Oh yes.
On the flip side, because it does take so
That's
many
probably
players.
True. Although, if he announces it, right, you kind of keep everyone on the edge of your seat to continue watching. I don't think everyone leaves. Thanks, Aaron. See ya.
Something new happens all the time because you are literally dealing with 11 humans on the field at one time who all have
Colette, I appreciate the update. Again, the big thing we're waiting for isn't necessarily that the trade is done. I'm not expecting that from Rodgers. What I'm expecting from Rodgers is a decision. I'm retiring. I'm going to the Jets. And again, everything based on what we hear is he's going to the Jets. And if he just says that, words come out of his mouth that we feel unbelievable.
Player who's played for a long time. The love
Kobe history will be made, and we'll be all here together to watch it, for better or for worse.
I think there's nothing in the world for me that fills that need and that hole I have like competition. I think
that'd be pretty close. With the Jets conversations done with the backers, at basically point. I'd rather hear him say Jets to clear up everything.
To be satiated competitively.
My God!
It's a love of going out there.
I feel like I'm giving birth.
Guys and be in an environment where you know that
I just want to hear those words out loud. Guaranteed. Say it.
And that's why at times I've taken umbrage to people saying that it's easy, because it's not easy. It's never easy. And I think that's the beauty in our game is that you see things new every single week. It's never easy. And your only thing you're guaranteed is the ability to compete. I love that aspect of it. I love competing.
By the way, we're in a commercial break for those who don't know. I think there's a little commercial break timer on here.
Maybe don't love football as much.
Yeah, it looks like we're back in 2 minutes and change. If you guys can't see that in the bottom corner of the screen.
And your best might not be good enough, and that's not okay with you.
So 2-minute break, and Aaron Rodgers is supposed to be back in case you guys are just joining us now. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Aaron Rodgers, Pat McAfee Show, Jets Watch Party. Welcome if you're in here again. Like the video. Hit subscribe down below. We're just past 4,000 subscribers last night. Let's see how many more we could get. Unbelievable. This is going to be wild, guys. We're about to find out. We're about to find out. Is Aaron Rodgers coming to the Jets? We're about to find out. Oh, my goodness gracious. I'm on the edge of my seat. We're at 104 now, but they're coming back from a break. Yes, I hear you said you guys can't hear while I'm talking. Yes, I get it. You guys don't want me to talk. I get it. But you guys are also watching a live stream, so I will react when I hear it. But yes, I will not be talking, obviously, when Aaron Rodgers is talking. Well, thank you guys for the tips. I appreciate it. "30 seconds away, people." Oh my gosh. Yeah, a lot of people upset. Here we go. Oh my God.
Hey,
Why?
let's go. This show fucking stinks. And the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it. AJ, never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it!
What the fuck are you doing?
Boston
Hello, 300,000 plus live concurrent beautiful people. It is Aaron Rodgers Wednesday, March 15, 2023. We start now.
Much money!
To everybody, it is a massive time in the sports media world, and we are lucky to be here, and we are thankful you are watching wherever the fuck you may be. The Toxic Table is here at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt. One half of the Hammer, Don Cowboys, Tone Diggs is here. A 14-year NFL vet, corner, an absolute stallion of a man who's an all-pro and a legend in everybody's eyes. Adam Pac-Man Jones is here. Atta baby Pac. Atta baby Pac. Great work, Pac.
Hey, boy, Pac.
To my left, your right is a college football national champion, a Super Bowl champion, a Ryder Cup champion, a video game community shit stirrer, an NBA pundit, a father of 10, and COVID survivor, AJ Hall. Baby AJ, all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
Hell yeah.
Speaking of that team, there was a man who's been a quarterback for that team for a long time, has won 4 MVPs for that incredible program and organization in the middle of America that has a incredibly prestigious history, all the way back to Curly Lambeau and the boys doing their thing, where you drive into a city that's within a neighborhood. A Home Depot is popping off. There are houses on either side of it, and you get to an NFL stadium that you've learned about on NFL films with Steve Sable making it the prized possession of the NFL Lambeau Field. There's a man that's been quarterback for that place for a long, long time. And that place is seemingly in the middle of a transition. Is that true? Where is this guy going to be playing football next year? Will it be in that Lambeau Field? Will it be on a beach as a retired man? Or will it potentially be in the city of New Jersey? It's
Shadows of New York.
What is it? It's in New Jersey. Anyways, the New York Jets. Just out of the darkness, the topic of the conversation, ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Rodgers.
No jet hat.
What's up, dude?
Good afternoon. Good morning here. Good afternoon there.
How are you, man? There's a lot going on in your world, bro. I don't even know if you know this or if you've been so locked in. How are you doing? Where are you right now? And what's up, brother?
Yeah, I'm in Southern California. I've been down here for a little bit now. I'm not right out of the darkness. I was in the darkness for 5 days, 4 nights in the end of February. So we're a little bit past that now. We're moving to the middle of March now.
Ides of March, if you will. The Ides of March.
Ides of March, yes, definitely. Yes.
Okay, well, okay, good.
Ides of March long ago, but
Toga, right? Did a lot of toga parties.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You bet.
People are dancing, having a good time.
Sure.
Yep.
Brute,
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot has happened since you come back into the light, pal. How are you with it all?
I've been good. You know, the darkness gave me a lot of time to contemplate everything. I talked about a lot of it on Aubrey's podcast, which was a few days after I came out. But it was a great reset for me, for my body, for my mind, and you know, maybe a little bit longer than I needed. I felt like by the time I got to the 4th day, I was like, all right, I'm ready to come out.
Okay. We wondered about that. It was that's an extended period of time.
Oh yeah, long time.
Yeah.
No light, no nothing. 4 days, Jesus. 5 days, you said?
Well, parts of 5 days. It's 3 full days in there, 4 nights. You kind of go in the afternoon of one day, come out the morning of the 5th day. So.
Okay, so at what point did you forget what day it was, or did you know what day it was? Is there some sort of schedule?
food that came at 6 o'clock every day. So I had an idea of where I was. You're kind of counting down the nights. Once you get to the third night, you're like, okay, I have one more night of this after this night. So that's kind of how you gauge the whole process.
Did you mill towards where the food was coming from when you thought it was about time for food time? Like, did you stand impatiently near that thing as the food was coming down, or was it a surprise? Oh shit, food time. What do you think?
It's so quiet that you're just listening for that door handle to come up, and then you're like, oh, finally it's 6 o'clock, I can eat. But there's not a lot of sounds in there. That's why the meditations in there are incredible, because there's zero distractions, there's zero light. Your eyes don't adjust, so you can't even see parts of the room. You have some hallucinations at some point where the room looks different than it actually does, and you really got to kind of walk around with one hand out here, one hand out over here, so not bumping into stuff. But yeah, I'm glad I did it.
Queen's Gambit on the roof, hallucinating?
Yeah.
Really?
Whoa.
Wow. What day was that? What food was that? I'm sorry. Which?
Day three.
Okay, so is that like the expected time? Like day 3, this is when it's going to start happening?
I think so. And there wasn't any vitamins or anything. It was all natural. So,
man, you went in there completely sober into a hole.
Yeah.
Day 3, Queen's Gambit, it's taking place. Obviously, we heard on Aubrey's podcast, you got to think a lot. You thought about life, what it would be like as a retired human. You thought about life, what it would be like coming back and playing. We knew that was a massive thought for you because how much of an investment it is to kind of give a football season, especially now, it's the longest season it's ever been. There's 17 regular season games. Was that a good place for you to gain clarity? And did you know that you were going to retire or not retire soon after the darkness, or was that like a real discussion up until recently for you?
Well, I think this goes back to the last season when I was planning this trip. Where I was at mentally was this would be a great transition into the next chapter of my life. This is mid to late February. Finish the season out. Obviously we were still in it and still kind of trending. The dream is, you finish things out, you win the Super Bowl, and then you go into the darkness, and you go into retirement, and that's kind of a transition period for you. Obviously, we didn't do that. We got bounced and didn't make the playoffs. So it was, getting away from the season, the frustration, the emotion, and then just allow myself to contemplate both retirement and then coming back to playing and what that looks like. And I'm really thankful for that time in the darkness.
So what does it look like? What did you where are you at right now when it comes to everything we hear about the Jet situation? The coach's GM flew out to see you in Southern California. Where are you right now? What are we doing?
Well, I think that there's, again, which is pretty standard. There's some information out there that's true for sure. There's a lot that isn't true. There's some that has parts of truth to it. There's a lot that has zero truth to it. I will say this, because there's probably a lot of different, non-usual viewers today.
A lot. Yeah.
This isn't a decision day. This isn't me deciding and announcing to the world that this is what's going on. In fact, that's already happened. We're actually days past this. This is kind of clearing things up, I think, for everybody interested, which there obviously seems to be a lot of people interested. So the whole. And I'm going to get into this now, if you don't mind, Pat. I'm going to go for a little bit here.
Hey, go ahead. There's 430,000 people currently, so a lot more people watching than normal, and they are all interested because you're a fucking dog as a football player. So go ahead and do your thing, pal.
Listen, I love you guys, and I enjoy coming on. But this was, coming on the show was never going to be to announce I'm retiring or I'm coming back or blah, blah, blah. This is more just to tell you exactly the state of affairs where we sit today on March 15th, because there have been a lot of changes. The history of this and kind of the timeline, which I think is important, that's why I'm going to go through it, is that in 2020, they drafted Jordan to replace me. Now, there wasn't replacement right away, but as is the case with the Packers and kind of the way they do things, they like to get rid of players like a year early instead of a year late in their mind. So there's probably some people who believe that I was a descending player and that it was time to make a change, even though we're just coming off the NFC Championship game. And obviously we got blown out by San Fran, but we had a 13-3 season. and we're the number 2 seed and made it all the way to the NFC Championship. So they drafted a guy to replace me. Now, maybe not right away because there was nothing about trading in the immediate. But even farther back from that, you have to realize I was drafted in 2005 by Ted Thompson. The front office at that time looked a lot different. Front office consisted of Ted Thompson, John Schneider is now GM of Seattle, Reggie McKenzie, who went on to be GM of Oakland, John Dorsey, who went on to be GM of Cleveland, Elliott Wolf, who had been in front office for a number of years, whose dad obviously was an architect of the Packers, awesome guy. That was the front office of the Packers. So the front office now looks completely different. There's still obviously some scouts and different people that have been around for a while, but that was the guys who were there when I was drafted in 2005. Fast forward to 2020, and when they drafted Jordan, there's none of those guys there. So this is a new regime. The president of the Packers in 2005 was Bob Harlan. Father of Kevin Harlan. Bob, legendary guy. I love Bob so much. I have so much love for him, and obviously for the organization and for so many people that work in the organization, for the fan base. I mean, I love Green Bay. Like, it's always going to be home. But a lot of those people who were there in the beginning aren't there now. Again, a lot of my closest friends are still, in the training room. Flea and Nate and Kurt. And some of the old heads, and obviously the equipment room. What an incredible staff that is with Red and T-Bone and Brian Nearing and Odie and Kevin Nelson, who recently retired, but Kevin and Adam in the cafeteria and Doug Collins and Justin Crabb and all the awesome people that have been there forever. But a lot of people who were there in the beginning just aren't there as far as decision makers go. So when they drafted Jordan, this conversation would have happened a lot sooner had I not won back-to-back COVID MVPs. So we come off of last year with obviously missing the playoffs. I didn't have an MVP season. I was interested in where they would be at mentally. Everything that I was told in the week that I was in Green Bay was take as long as you want, and we want you to retire a Packer. You want to come back and play. Obviously, the door is wide open. So that was the information I was going on. Now, when I came out of the darkness, something changed. I'm not exactly sure what that was, but something changed. And I got back to my phone after 5 days off of it, because your phone's not on the entire time. There's no Wi-Fi on that, hippie mountain. And when I got back to that little shack they have where there's one bar of Wi-Fi, and got back to hundreds of text messages and emails and all different things, I realized that there'd been a little bit of a shift. And that I heard from multiple people that I trust around the league, players mostly, that there was some shopping going on, that they were interested in actually moving me. And at this point, I got to admit, I went in the darkness, 90% retiring, 10% playing. That's where my mind was. My mind was, I'm tired of this. I hadn't got back into my workouts yet, and I thought that was what was best for me. So I went in the darkness to contemplate a lot of different things. But one day I spent entirely on the reality I was retired, and one day I spent entirely on the reality that I was coming back and playing. And just really sat with that for hours and hours, what that looked like, what the reality is, how that all felt. And when I came out, I was really interested in what the kind of landscape was, where Green Bay was at. And obviously, if I wanted to play, what were the options? So it was clear to me at that point that although the Packers were going to say the right thing publicly, that they were ready to move on. And again, I don't know what changed that or what moved that. If they just said, hey, we need to make a decision here because he hasn't made a decision yet. Again, there's no victims here. I'm not sitting here as a victim. I love Green Bay. I love the fan base. They're incredible. I lived for playing for them and for Lambeau. A lot of love for the organization. I just think I wish that in the beginning of the offseason, that had been the conversation, because I love direct communication. If they had just said, listen, we think it's time to move in a different direction, and we love you, and you're going to be a Packer Hall of Famer, you're going to go in the Hall as a Packer, we're going to retire your number, whatever it might be, but it's time to move on. I would have said, man, thank you so much just for telling me that. Like, I really, really appreciate that. That means the world to me that you would tell me that. because I really believe that's the sentiment, and that's fine. It really is. It's totally fine. This is an incredible profession, but it's a tough business for sure.
You've said that for a long time, Aaron. You've said that for a long time.
Some of these issues were things I was talking about 2 years ago. It was how do we treat older players on the way out? And it's ironic that now I'm that player, but I think that's the beauty in life is the the sense of humor that the universe has. But so I'm no malice, no bitterness towards the Packers. It's been bittersweet for sure the last 10 days. So I've shifted my focus to entertaining, what the plane would look like, and had the Packers granted obviously permission for the Jets to come out and visit. We had a nice visit. They decided to leave their cars in the street, which attracted paparazzi attention, which got a few of them photographed, which I thought was pretty funny. But
made a couple of mistakes early.
But we had a nice conversation, and I told them, listen, I'm not ready to make a decision about anything. I want to get back into my workouts and see how it feels. To really hit it hard for a week. I've obviously been working out before that, but to really hit it hard for a week and to see if the drive and the passion is still there, and then I'll see where we're at. And so again, this is why this is not a decision here. The decision I think was made in my mind, whether or not I was able to admit at that point. Really on that Tuesday, I wanted to play, and then it was how is my body feeling? Is it going to be able to hold up? So at this point, as I sit here, I think since Friday, I made it clear that my intention was to play, and my intention was to play for the New York Jets.
Okay.
And I haven't been holding anything up at this point. It's been compensation that the Packers are trying to get for me and kind of digging their heels in. So I would just I think it is interesting at this point to step back and look at the whole picture. My side, love and appreciation, gratitude for everything that Green Bay has done for me. So much love and gratitude, and just heart open for the Packer fans and what it meant to be their quarterback. And also the reality of the situation, it is what it is. The Packers would like to move on. They've let me know that in so many words. They've let other people know that in direct words. And because I still have that fire and I want to play and I would like to play in New York, it's just a matter of, getting that done at this point.
Okay, people in New York are doing this right now.
Yeah.
People in New York are pumped right now. And I appreciate you laying it all out there. I appreciate you detailing your side of it, why you feel the way you feel. Now, obviously, there's like 400,000 plus people watching. Not everybody will get to hear that. I hope everybody gets a chance to hear why you are in the position that you're in, and also why you chose to come on here today, because there's a lot of drama allegedly being built by you, dragging this out. Is this guy doing this? Because the last we had heard, and although you made your decision on Friday, the last we had heard is you were contemplating still wanting to play, or do you want to play for the Jets, or do you want to play for another team? So you giving your side of it, I think, lets a lot of people that are maybe hating know, like, let's understand that there's a whole nother layer to this, which is how all the insiders have been talking about it. That layer, are you involved in that process at all with what the compensation is? Are you completely hands off of that and you're just along for the ride with everybody else? Or how active have you been in the whole process here, Aaron?
Pretty hands off of that, honestly. I've just been focused on working out and, taking care of my business out here. I obviously have an agent and the GMs have been talking, I'm sure, about that. At this point, like I said, it's my intention to play for the Jets, but I'm still under contract with the Packers. So.
Yeah, they got no leverage either. I don't know how many people are watching. They're trying to compare this to the Matthew Stafford situation. Matthew Stafford, a part of the trade and what they gave up was because they were taking on Jared Goff's contract that was massive. Your contract would be leaving the team, so take that out of the leverage pool. And also, they've pretty much put them in a position contractually with Jordan Love because they have to decide whether or not they're going to pick up the 5th year. They made this decision by drafting Jordan Love that everybody else knows that they're going to another quarterback anyways, and they don't want it on the book. So it's a vastly different leverage situation. I think we all just assumed that would have got done. I think that's why we were all thinking that it was you. Has this surprised you a little bit as well, or no?
I mean, not really, honestly.
Oh, okay. Why not?
Well, listen, I think, my plea is, and I would say this is debatable, but I'm debatably the best player in franchise history. I'm in the conversation for sure.
That was awesome.
What's not debatable is I'm the longest tenured Packer in history. Like, you can debate the first part, obviously. Bart, Brett, a number of names have been incredible.
Whoa.
But you can't debate anybody who's been there longer than I have. And nobody's bled green and gold like me. I mean, I love that city. I love those fans. I love that region. And I've never been a free agent. I've never even got there. Yeah, the team has done it, but I've never said, you know what, let me test free agency here. Like, because I want to, I kind of want to get out of here. Like, this weather or, whatever it might be. Just I need a new. It was never that. I loved Green Bay. I do love Green Bay. I mean, I love the people. I love going to Chives and seeing my buddy Logan. I love India Bob Vaughn now. Incredible Indian spot in town.
Hell yeah, that's good.
I love my boy Rob at Frame Makers. I love so many people in that town. So many people that work at the organization, and I love our fans, man. We got a great fan base. I mean, it was never about that. Now it's about the reality situation, and I think there's probably people who are really wanting to move on, and I get it. I'm not upset about it. I have nothing but love in my heart for every Packer fan and everybody that works in the organization. My life is better because of my time in Green Bay. But we just got to look at the reality. They want to move on. They don't want me to come back, and that's fine. They're ready to move on with Jordan. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And Jordan's going to be a great player. He's a fucking great kid. He had a really good year this year, getting better, on the look team. He's got a bright future in front of him. They got a good young team. I got so many great friends on that team that I'm still going to be great friends with. But the fact of the matter is, like, you got a aging, face of the franchise for the last 15 years that it's time to do right by. And let's listen to your language. Mark Murphy said it the other day, right?
Had a great career. Yeah. If the only way Aaron would be the quarterback is if what we want to happen obviously doesn't happen. So that's what he actually said publicly, which I think you said if he would have told you that before you were going into this process, you wouldn't have been so offended by it all. I think when you laid it all.
Honestly, I wasn't offended by it at all. I'm not offended.
No. But like the miscommunication wise, he didn't tell you that was the case. They told you to take your time. And then when you came out of the darkness, it was like a different message. And you said this has kind of been an issue with Green Bay alum for a long time. It's like how you handle the whole next.
We're just look at the track record from the guy sitting over there to
all-time leading
what happened with Jordy Nelson and Randall Cobb and Julius Peppers, Clay Matthews, Brett Good, on and on and on. There's just a way of doing things that you don't want to bring it back. That's fine. It's a business, but there's a way of doing it that allows the man to keep the dignity. And honestly, that's some of the stuff I was fighting for a couple of years ago. Like, how can we do this a little bit better? If we want to be about family and want to be about love and taking care of our people, like let's put our actions where our words at. Because it's really important to me. That part is important. Now I'm the person, and look, I'm not offended by any of this. I'm not a victim by any of this. I don't have that mentality. I have nothing but love and appreciation. It's been bittersweet. Like, coming to this reality has been really bittersweet because I was drafted by Green Bay. I fucking love that city, love that organization, and always going to have love for that organization. But the facts are right now, they want to move on.
Oh my God, it's right there. You see it.
And now so do I.
Hey, do you see it? AJ, do you see what's like?
Chips are stacking up the chips. That's right. Stacking the chips on your shoulder. We know that. Hey, quick, let's say you came out of the darkness retreat, as you said, what, 5 days, 4 nights, I believe, long time in there, very long time. Say you check your phone in Green Bay, you get your first text was, hey man, we love you. Come on back. We need this. Would you have been gung-ho going back to Green Bay?
I mean, that's a good question. Not really. I just felt like I knew that wasn't going to happen, number one. But number two,
why though? If you said when you left at the end of the season, though.
Let me get to it. Because
let him answer a question, AJ. Jeez, ask him a question, let him answer. Thank you, Aaron. Sorry about it. Jeez.
That just wasn't the sentiment that I felt throughout the season. Especially even towards the end of the season, it felt like everybody was ready to move on. And, I was interested by what the conversation would be in the week after the season, but it was pretty obvious they weren't staying on the table. They weren't doing the opposite, though. It was kind of in the middle where whatever you want to do, we'll kind of do. And obviously that changed, and they felt like they had to take a hard line, which look, nobody wants to be the bad guy in a situation. And honestly, there isn't at this point a bad guy in the situation. As long as everything gets resolved the right way, they want to move on. And now I want to play. And so that would obviously be me moving on as well.
So you know how I was saying chips on the shoulder there. I don't know if you took that as a compliment or if you agree with that or not. But Michael Jordan, right at that Utah restaurant we saw in The Last Dance, that's all I need that motherfucker to say. And the guy was like, hey, good luck tomorrow, Michael Jordan. Like, you're the greatest player of all time. And he's like, yeah. The way he said it, though. You said you were thinking about, retirement 90-10 going into the darkness because the plan was to win the Super Bowl and do that. Then you come out of there and you chat with the Green Bay Packers, even though they had a different tone. How much of that was kind of a driver to be like, yeah, you know what? Actually, I still want to go. Or was that something you thought about in the darkness or previously? Like, if you could find motivation, if you could find another, maybe mountain to climb, if you could, was any of that a thought that maybe you had during the darkness or before that was kind of reignited whenever Green Bay said, we're planning on basically moving on? Or do you not view it that way?
No, not really. I mean, I think when I left Green Bay, a week after the season, 8 days, whatever it might have been, 8 or 9 days, I felt like that was it. I felt like I wasn't coming back. It was just a feeling. I wouldn't base anything more than maybe
on how they're acting,
just on how it felt. Like it felt like this was my last time, in Green Bay as a starting quarterback. But I was open to that changing based on how people responded or didn't respond, but there was some conversation around what you want to do in the off season, and are you okay if we don't bring back any of your guys? And that honestly didn't have a big bearing on it. It was more just a sense that, hey, let's just be honest. Like, you drafted Jordan. If I hadn't won MVP twice in a row, this would have been a conversation 2 years before, which is totally fine, and I get it. And Ted Thompson, rest his soul, is not there anymore. He drafted me. None of those guys are, who were there other than Sam Seo, who was the West Coast scout, who supposedly stood on the table to, for me. Shout out to Sammy. But
hey, shout out Sam. Shout out Sammy.
He's still there, but it's a different regime, and every regime wants to have their guys in there, and I totally understand it. I mean, it's a business. Like, I'm not naive to that. It is what it is, and I just have a lot of gratitude for the time there. But now it's time to, to do the right thing, because I don't think there's a scenario where they're like, well, we want this, and Jets aren't willing to give it to us, so we'll take you back. Like, that's not the reality.
All right. Over the last couple of years, we've had a book club. So I'm going to make a literacy reference here. You know what time it is?
What time? What's that?
Turn the page.
Ooh,
okay. See what we did right there?
Okay.
That was also right to a new chapter. And let's make that happen. Okay. It sounds like there's maybe some conversations behind the scenes between the Packers and Jets that are holding this whole thing up, that the fans should maybe send their direct drama and bullshit hate to, is what I think we just cleared up there. Now let's talk about the future a little bit here. You sent a list of demands. Need you to sign Lazard.
Yep.
You need to sign Randall Cobb.
Yep.
I want Jordy Nelson out of the fucking ranch into New Jersey. Right. I want him on there. Did that all happen? Or, Hackett is the new offense coordinator, has had success with all those guys as well whenever he was in Green Bay. But you were getting a lot of the, this must be, because you just alluded to it too there. They told you you're not bringing that back, your guys. How much of that conversation has taken place, and how do you feel about the narrative that you have a laundry list before you can do anything?
Well, it's so ridiculous.
Hey, that's happening though. Like, you need to know.
Yeah.
You need to know that. I know you're in your house. Whales are probably out there birthing and stuff out in Malibu. You're working out, doing your thing. This is a real conversation that's happening. We don't understand it either, pal. Honestly. Well, until now, we didn't have a clue what was happening. But you get it after all that. You get it.
Listen, just ask Schefter what I texted him when he somehow got my number and texted me. I didn't respond to Diana Rossini, I think her name is.
Yes, Diana.
You got my
Great
number
work.
as well. But I would say the same thing that I told Shefty. Lose my number.
Ooh.
Nice try. Listen, I'll speak for myself. I'm sure there'll be people that have their sources, but from what I've seen, it's like I had a sheet of paper when I met with the Jets, and I said, "Sign these people." And that's not the reality. That's so ridiculous.
All right, that sounds good.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
To think that I would do it, number one. Now, did they ask me about certain guys that I played with over years? Of course. Did I talk glowingly about teammates that I love? Yeah. Why wouldn't you? Talk about the guys you love.
Well,
I mean,
don't actually.
No.
Yeah. Do I love those guys on the list? Of course. Do I make demands about certain people? I mean, it's just, and it goes to this people want these things to be so true that I'm in this meeting, dressed in, ceremony regalia, giving them some sort of
no shoes,
handwritten on parchment demand list of people they need to sign. Listen, I think objectively, a lot of people can look at Alan Lazard and go, he's a really good player. We would love to have him on our team. And then anybody with a brain would maybe call me on any team and go, hey, what kind of locker room guy is Alan Lazard? What's his work ethic like? And I'd say he's a fucking great dude. Dude, anybody would be lucky to have him in the locker room. And if somebody asked me about Big Dog or Kabi, or I don't even know who else was on that list, I'd say the same thing.
Jordan.
Fucking awesome
Odell.
dudes.
Oh, Odell.
I mean, first of all, who wouldn't want to have Odell on their team?
Agreed. Yeah, he'd be cool.
Come on. But what are we talking about here? I don't have demands. Look, my only demand is for transparency, and if you say some bullshit, there's sometimes it's not even worth it. But like I said, I can't remember exactly what something that Rappaport said or some shit.
Yes.
But when something gets out there and then assumed to be true, then it can take on a life of its own. It can go from, there was a conversation about 20 different players to, he wants, these guys to be signed, otherwise he doesn't want to come. It's come on, what are we talking about?
Yeah, it's all in the delivery of the information, because that kind of sets it, and that happens multiple times during the day on the internet with every piece of information. Somebody has their take on it and they're covering it, right? So they can say they cover everything, but they are certainly putting their Well,
it's a game of telephone. Then it becomes this whole thing. It's then I was presented in a black folder, with specific to Helvetica, font that it's my favorite font or some shit.
Papyrus is a good one too.
Yeah,
I mean, that one's kind of those are all good ones. Very Papyrus's Avatar, obviously. That's the whole thing. Avatar, which could be real, right? We don't have time to talk about that. We will move on. Here's a great tweet with a caption: Green Bay Packers shareholder owner and Green Bay Packers super fan gets chance to ask Aaron Rodgers question on day he finds out Aaron Rodgers wants to play for the New York Jets. Ty Schmidt, your question for Aaron Rodgers.
Not really a question, and I'll just speak for myself, but I think I do speak for a vast majority of the fan base. Just want to say thank you, Aaron. It really has been a pleasure, a joy, and a privilege watching you play. Some of the best memories of my entire adult life are watching, you with my brothers and my dad. It sucks, obviously. I wanted you to retire a Packer, but I'm glad you're still playing. I'll love to continue to watch you play.
Hell yeah.
So I hope everything that you want to happen does happen. And I really, again, no malice. I mean, it does suck and it's going to hurt for a while. I do feel a bit like Julius Caesar today on the Ides of March. I mean, Aaron. Yeah. But I get it. Anyone to be pissed about being able to watch you and your greatness over the last 18 years is a fucking buffoon. So appreciate you. Looking forward to watching you. It just sucks you're not going to retire, Packer.
Proud of you, Ty.
We go, Ty.
Practice it. You nailed it.
Stay strong. Stay strong.
Yeah. Ty, thanks, buddy. That's, and that's why it's been so bittersweet, is because, I love that town so much, and I have so much love for so many people I've met over the years associated with that. The game has given me a ton. I've tried to return that as much as I can, but that town, that region, that state has given me so much love and support from the day I was drafted, which was obviously controversial, to when I took over in 2008 and winning the Super Bowl. All the incredible memories over the years and the fun interactions with fans, at events or just at the store or at a Bucks game or on a golf course or whatever it might be. And you see them all over the place. I ran into Packer fans in Rome walking through the ruins. They're just everywhere, and there's just such great people. I just have so much love for them. That's why it's been really, really hard. It's been hard to get to this point, and there's a lot of sadness for sure. There was definitely, a day of mourning, I think, of just all that time, those memories, the love I have for that place. But that place is always going to be really, really special to me, as are those fans and the memories. They can't take them away. And look, there's a lot of emotion in this, so I don't fault anybody for voicing that emotion, for sharing those things. Some people might regret some of them later, but
probably after listening today, because there's Packers fans that are pissed off that you were taking forever to make the decision too, because there was so much money being held hostage, and there was tampering allowed to happen during a free agency. So you're holding them hostage as well. This was all things that were actually being said. I have to relay the message.
And I'm sensitive to all that. I really am. I'm sensitive to all that. And again, I don't have any malice towards any of those people. Our fans are so passionate in Green Bay.
I mean, yeah,
they show up, and there's a 50-year waiting list for tickets, and they pack that place every single year, and they live and die with the Packers, and it's just there's nothing like it across the league, and I'm just really, really thankful. I got to be the starting quarterback of the Packers for 15 years. I got to be in an organization for 18 years. 18 years, that's a teenager. That's becoming an adult.
Fine,
and that's what I did there. Right. And that's what I did there. And it was because of the people I met there and the places I went and the times that I had. So, man, I love you, Green Bay. Thank you. And I'm as sad as some of you are, but, we'll meet again.
Yeah, hell yeah. Mark Murphy said that he'll be in our Hall of Fame. He'll be in the Hall of Fame. His number will be retired, which leads to Boston Connor's question for you. By the way, it's great to hear you speak like that about a team, and a city and a people. That's cool, because it was very obviously rather heavy on you there. Had that moment. Yeah, that's a big deal.
It's easy because the emotions are real. The tears are real. The emotions are real. And the love for those colors and that G and what that meant to me when I always told the guys, that G follows you wherever you go. So when you're out on the road, when you're back home, when you're out to dinner, you're representing an incredible organization. And I said those words, and I took those words to heart, and always tried to represent the G the right way.
Also, the history of the organization provides things that not a lot of other franchises can have, like the rivalry with the Chicago Bears. That you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Right on. Now that's Zito. He just had a great last 42 minutes here. Yeah, Zito has had a fantastic 42 minutes.
Love you, Aaron.
Yeah, he's a big fan as a Chicago Bear fan. But listening to you talk about that rivalry in a game that I think, with what the Bears have been, no offense, ZD,
much mana,
making much big plays. But with what the Bears have been over a big chunk of recent history here, a lot of people outside of that, I don't think, know that it's a massive rivalry. Hey, this is the real deal. So getting a chance to experience that the last few years with you and how you talk about it and how serious you take it, it's obviously you take a lot of pride in the fact that you're a Green Bay Packer, because a rivalry that nobody really knows is as big as it is very serious to you in your 18th year, 17th year in the NFL. And you even told Justin Fields, hey, take this rivalry seriously. This is a real deal. Carry it on. It's you've always been very passionate towards the Packers, man. Always been very passionate towards the Packers. Connor has a question, though, for you about a team that has a passionate fan base and a situation potentially brewing.
Yeah, as a Patriots fan, I got to say, thanks a lot, Mark Murphy. You kind of fucked us, okay? The guy was going to retire, now he's going to be a Jet. Really appreciate that. With that being said, welcome to the AFC East. Aaron, you might have heard Joe Namath come out and say, hey, if Aaron comes to New York, he can wear the number 12. When you're picturing it in your head, are you taking that 12 from the rafters, putting it on your chest, or just for all these jersey swaps? Should we maybe put on like a 2? Maybe you're wearing number 1. What are we thinking there?
Oh, maybe a 0. That might get passed.
Listen, that's a great question, Connor. With respect to the emotions, I think there'll be time for all those conversations down the road. And today was about talking about the past and the love I have for the team, and then giving an update on what's going on today. So that's a great question. I've seen what Joe said. There'll be time to talk about that down the road.
Thanks, Connor.
Yeah, well, the Jets suck.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks. Yeah, Connor. Hey, Patriots hate the Jets. I guess that's a thing. You know that.
All of us do. Bills, Finns, Patriots. I mean, the Jets are the worst.
That's the kitchen, baby. They want it in there.
Bingo.
Hey, they want it hard in there. They've been waiting.
Yeah.
You're going to get a parade over there from what I've been heard for how long it's been.
Big time.
I don't know if you know that Gary V is going to be at the front of that. He might write a 6th New York Times bestseller about you coming to the city. It's going to be Accurate Aaron. It's going to be this little figure that is in his NFT collection that comes and puts an entire city on his back. I mean, there's a chance that type of shit happens in New York. This is a whole different market now.
Yeah.
Tone has a question for you, Aaron.
Aaron, was it always the Jets? Was there any other teams that potentially you knew that were trying to get you, or was it just retirement Packers, Jets?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think there were other teams that were interested, and obviously there's certain players that I have a lot of love and affinity for, and the reuniting with especially one specific person would have been
Devontae in Las Vegas. You're talking about Devontae Adams?
Not mentioning any names, but there's definitely one particular guy who who him and I have this special kind of unspoken rapport.
That's Devontae. Okay, yeah, that's Devontae Adams, who's currently on the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah.
But you're right.
If I wasn't a demanding person, I probably would.
Whoa,
is that Devontae?
I'm back. Yeah, I'm back.
I got the Raiders.
Yeah, no.
We didn't know if they were back in the game.
If there's anybody that I would have wanted to put on the man list, I mean, if you can incorporate any player across the league, it would be one specific person. But that being said, like I said, it was leaning definitely towards retirement. That's what I felt like when the clock hit 0 at Lambeau. That's why I wanted to walk off with Randall Cobb. That's just kind of what it felt like.
Oh, that was cool. Then that's a really cool moment. Who's calling you? Who's calling you? Oh, this is a big deal. Obviously, somebody got your phone number. That's big. Is that Shefty again?
Well,
he didn't lose your number.
Put on a do not disturb and it goes away, but obviously it does.
Moon mode.
Oh, it's the best. Put focus, rate the moon mode.
Boom.
Yep. Boom. Lay off me.
Yeah, the moon mode. I thought that you couldn't get another call, but obviously it doesn't work. But listen, there's a lot of reasons why the Jets are attractive. But there's one coach who's meant as much to me as any coach I've ever had, and he happens to be the coordinator there. So.
Okay, so that did matter when it happened. Okay, and it ended up mattering potentially.
It didn't matter at the time for sure, but
got it.
There was obviously an interest from them and just from quite a few other teams, but that seemed to be the
Hackett was at the bottom of the bottom. Remember, head coach Denver Broncos. We suck. He's out of here. Now he's offensive coordinator for the Jets, and it's like Aaron's like. Really interested in the New York Jets because the guy that they just hired is the offensive coordinator. Good for Hackett, bro.
Go.
Good for Hackett. Legit, you have a great affinity for him, and we talked about him a little bit this season with how the season was going with the Broncos in his first year as head coach, and you spoke glowingly of him. And not that you ever don't speak glowingly of people, but it felt like that was a genuine emotion because of, I think, his family and the whole lineage and the success you guys had with the Gold Zone. So much positive was said about him by you that when the Jets hired him, everybody was like, oh, this is the Jets trying to recruit Aaron. They're hiring Hackett in an attempt to get Aaron Rodgers here. So you saying that, I think there's going to be people that are like, Woody, Salah, boys, Chess. Playing it.
Good pick.
Playing it.
Well, listen. I take it. With any offense I've taken today, the only offense I'm going to take is to that statement, honestly, because that actually diminishes the ability that he has to coach football and connect with people, and that is, to me, a fucking objective reality. That anybody who's been around Nathaniel Hackett knows that he brings a lot of energy, a lot of fun. He's an incredible teacher of the game, especially the quarterback position. And he's a really good human being. So if it's, for people to say that was done just in an attempt to lure me, is a total disservice to Nathaniel Hackett, what he's accomplished in his career, the kind of person that he is. And so I'd take.
You shouldn't. It was all a compliment, I think, by people.
But I push back that every time because he's not just a fucking great human, but he's a great football coach. And if Robert Saleh can understand that, and Woody Johnson can, there was not. I mean, you can ask them, but for them to do it just to attempt to lure me is a disservice to that organization in general, and disservice to Nathaniel and what he's accomplished in this league, and the kind of person that he is.
Woody Johnson and you? Never mind. Go ahead, AJ. Go ahead, AJ.
Have you thought about what the next 3 or 4 months look like? Are you thinking about? Have you talked to the Jets people about taking part in the off-season workouts? Do you want to get up there and throw to those guys, or what?
Well, listen. Again, it's one step at a time here. Right now, I'm still under contract, so all I've stated today is I do want to play, and my intention would be to play for the Jets. But until the trade happens, I think we're still at that step.
You and Woody, how'd it go? Because we all know, he knows, we know, they know.
Yep.
He, they, and they, the whole. How'd it go? 11 hours? Is that right? Is that an accurate description of how long you guys met for when they flew out?
No, that's not accurate.
Okay, thank you.
It was pre-daylight savings. They walked out about just after sunset, which is probably shortly after 6. They arrived at the house at 2, so 6 minus 2, carry the 1 would be about 4 hours.
Wow.
Okay.
Is that 1/6 of a day?
7 hours of travel, maybe.
I think.
What'd you guys do?
They had
Oh yeah, 3.5.
Out there.
They landed and had lunch.
3.5 back.
No, quicker back. They had
Quicker
good
back.
tail
Yeah,
stream.
yeah,
They had a
You guys do a
tailwind.
bunch of psychedelics out there?
Yeah, did you guys do ayahuasca together?
No,
Did you guys get vaccinated together?
Hell yeah.
Didn't do that either. No.
Oh, okay. We didn't know. There was people speculating.
You're not all in on Woody.
Pac-Man. Whoa. What did you think? Was that a fascinating convo? 4 hours? Did you get to know him, you feel like?
It was a very relaxed conversation, and it was easy conversation. It wasn't just obviously Mr. Johnson. It was Rob was there, and Nathaniel was there, and the GM Joe was there. Jaime, the money guy, was there. So there was more than just that. There was a good conversation, though. It was very easy conversation.
They ask you about ayahuasca?
No, there wasn't any of that.
Darkness?
I would have told him. I told him a little bit about the darkness. There's more Rob. Rob was interested about that.
Was there any return stories? Like, oh, I want to boom, was there any, did we do a whole roundabout table talk here of our experiences? Like, do you feel like it's a good match over there? Because I think that's a big deal, isn't it? Don't you?
I think the match is important. I think there's also a sanctuary of solace that surrounds my house, where what happens inside it and some of the conversations need to be given the proper privacy.
That's the right answer. That's why you're Aaron Rodgers and I am not. Pac-Man has a question for you, pal.
Yeah.
What's
There
up,
we
bro?
go.
How you doing?
05 draft.
05, yes. Hey, I want to know more about this darkness. It sounds like a fucking jail cell to me, like a holding cell. I don't know if you've ever been locked up. I've been locked up before, and it's a holding cell where you can't go out. It's dark, and they slide your food through. I want to know more about this darkness thing. Can you explain this to me? Because my son wanted to come, and I told him last night, I was like, if you can go in here and stay in this bathroom for an hour and a half with the lights off, with this A-Rod jersey on, you can come with me. The shit only lasts about 20 minutes.
He's not here. He is not here today.
So can you explain a little bit more to me about this, man?
I love you. I love you, Pac, man. You're a one of one, my friend.
As are.
Listen, there was a lot of people were asking about that. The reality was the door was open. So anytime you want to go out, you can go out. I talked to a good friend who had been in about 10 days before me, and he decided every single day he was going to go out for a half hour or an hour just to kind of reset. And so that was an option. But when I blew the candle out the first afternoon, that was it for the light until I saw the light again about 9:30, I think, when that came out. So I enjoyed it. It was it makes you be very intentional about everything. Everything takes time and intention. Walking to the bathroom, finding your way, through the room to the bathtub to start the bathtub, waiting for the hot water to come on 40 minutes later, and then waiting for it to fill up for 40 minutes, and then knowing you got 15 hours left in your day, so you got to find time to fill that up. And then eating is very intentional, the slow bites and slow through and enjoying the smell. You got a lot of time. But what it does is it allows you to contemplate everything. And when your mind really slows down to where you don't need as much sleep, which makes you sleep less, but you're not tired. So you have even more time for contemplation. But I found that the thoughts during that were very linear. It was basically one thought, and then that ended, and another thought, and that ended, and another thought. So that was nice. Where in modern day world, even this conversation, probably many of you are thinking about 20 other different things. Shit, I am probably too. But that's the way our minds work, because we have so much stimulation and stuff that's hitting our eyes, and light and things to look at. In the darkness, it's pitch black, and you don't even see. Your eyes don't adjust. So you rely on your other senses, and it's just a lot of time to really contemplate. And meditations were really nice. And I kind of had a theme of the day that I asked for in a morning meditation, and then kind of sat with that theme throughout the day and kind of live in that reality and really enjoyed it. There was the last day, like I said, I was ready to get out. Maybe I was like, okay, I think I've thought enough. But I wasn't miserable. If I had been miserable, I would have walked out. I wasn't miserable at all. I just felt like, okay, it'd been 72 hours. I'm ready to come out here.
To Pac-Man's thought, I think a lot of us, as you were describing it, were very confused about why you would seek this type of thing out. But then you, obviously being a human who is not worried about trying to find like a level of swag or cool, just your own inner happiness, it feels like, is what we've kind of learned from it all. So when you go in there, though, like I think even all the way up to it, I was asking a lot of questions, as was AJ. We found out in the Aubrey Marcus thing, 2 wipes, you think every poop was? Did you have to smell? You had to smell? Is that how'd you get through that whole, did you just guess?
It's just a feel, man. It's a feel. I think you can all tell. Is there some remnants left you got to get or not? Like I said on there was some real solid ones that, not exactly the phantom, the ghost poop where you don't have to wipe. But
I had one of those this morning. Yeah.
But I felt pretty good. It was eating, a lot of roughage. I think that was clearing me out pretty good.
Okay. Well, I'm happy you had it all figured out in there. And I'm thankful that you seem to be at a place where you're excited, motivated, and just waiting for the next step to start with somebody else in control of that. So we appreciate you taking time out of your life. Last one before we go, because this will be talked about here probably for the next hour or so. When did AJ know exactly what was going on, and how long has he been lying to the entire world, if you had to just guess? You know what I mean?
I'd say he probably knew last Tuesday what I was thinking.
Oh, my God.
Yep.
Son of a bitch.
Wow.
We thought so. Yeah, he's a real one, Aaron. Keep him around.
Yeah,
he's a real. We're talking. We were putting his ass.
You piece of shit, AJ.
He didn't lie though. Hey, he is not lying. We told that.
I give you my opinion.
Said it.
I give you my opinions on what I think he's going to do. You know that.
Yeah, but then you always, whenever we're gathering around, you have a cigar in your mouth.
I don't know.
Holding the back of him. I never lied. Wait, the whole. I mean, that's like waiting to happen. You know what I mean, Aaron?
No, listen. Let me redirect this because I love AJ and I don't want to feel the wrath of Laura or anybody in that family. But I think there was definitely I gave him plausible deniability. So he didn't know exactly what I was doing because I knew that he had to talk about it every single day. And I wanted to go through the last week of training and see how I felt. I felt really good all week and body felt good. And
we're spinning it. Hey, You old fucks, right? That's the big question. Can you still throw the ball? Like your brain gets better, but the arm can't keep up. You've never had an issue with that. I'm assuming last week you tested it pretty good. And did you have a couple like, oh yeah, he's fucking back? Is that what happened last week? Did we have a couple of those?
Yeah, I was back in the very highly competitive charity flag football game, if you remember.
I do.
The kid pick you off again?
Yeah, you hit the kid with the ball after he picked you off, right? Remember that?
He also said Goff was the 50th ranked quarterback.
That's right. No, I didn't throw any picks this year.
That wasn't nice.
Had a nice clean run.
Leinart won that.
Shout out to my boy Tim Vizzy, who just absolutely balled out again, and his brother Matt.
Had a baby Tim, Matt, the Dizzy brothers.
Yeah,
they're doing their
So
thing.
we did not win. Matt Leinart, his team ended up winning, and they had two of those kids from last year. One of the kids that picked me off. So, championship kid.
So you remember the exact play that kid picked you off for sure.
I did a
little
the
sell.
kid.
He was supposed to go this way. He didn't.
He's a great kid. I need to put him on my demand list. I think.
Bingo. That's a great way to end this thing. We appreciate.
He's only in JUCO. He's only in JUCO right now, but I put him on there.
How many years has he been out of high school? Might be legal. Get him in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Who knows? We might be able to sneak him in the back door there, especially to a Jets franchise that's ready to go. They got a top 5 defense, Pac-Man.
Yes, sir, they do.
Hey, they got top 5 defense, says Pac-Man. They got Breece Hall, who, if he wouldn't have got hurt, offensive rookie of the year. Actual offensive rookie of the year, Garrett Wilson. Offensive line, right? They invested in the offensive line.
Uzama they grabbed.
So
we'll see. Hey, we'll see if a trade gets done.
Yeah, I hope that a lot of stuff was cleared up. And again, I like speaking for myself. Anybody, just consider the sources when it comes to me. I will say there's a couple of people who've had some things that have been right, and it's been surprisingly some of the professed Jet fan commentators. But everybody else, if somebody gets my number, just a little, heads up to them. I'll send you the same response, either no response or the response I sent.
Yeah, so Schefter tweeted it. Schefter tweeted it. Yeah, Schefter tweeted the photo. There it is. He said, Aaron did not lie. There it is. That's confirming. Lose my number. Good try, though. What a hilarious text you sent that, Schefter.
What did he text you, though? What did Shefty text you?
I can do that if he wants to put my text out there.
Well, he was just confirming your story, I believe. He was just saying that he dunked on himself.
He doesn't want that, does he?
Oh, that's hilarious. You're an absolute beast. Can't wait to see what happens next. We appreciate the hell out of you, brother. This is a massive day on this program's history. Huge.
Look, we've done a few of those, and I'm a loyal person, which is why this has been so hard, because I love my Green Bay people, our fan base, my dear friends at the organization on every level, my friends in the community. And when it comes to loyalty, I'm also loyal to you and the boys, and obviously Age and his family. And you guys have been a great platform to talk on, and that's why I wanted to come on here and hopefully clear some things up for everybody. So
we love you, bro.
Out of love to everybody out there, nothing but love and appreciation, and everybody take care out there, and hopefully there'll be some movement moving forward, and we can get on with our lives.
Ty's still throwing it. Just want to let you know that. And hell yeah.
Love you.
Hell yeah.
Love you too, Aaron.
Love you, Aaron. Hey,
sweet ring.
Sweet. Two of them. I think I saw 2 of them today while he was talking. I'm happy we brought that up. You got some really cool rings on today. Dude.
Flopping around.
Hair looks cool.
I have 1 ring and 1 watch.
Oh.
Zenith.
That's 1 ring? That was 3 rings.
No, that's 1 ring.
Is that Super Bowl?
Albert coming. What?
It's all about royalty. What?
I don't know. He's with his travels, what he's been doing.
Yeah, of course. Aaron, hey, thank you for allowing this to happen today. We appreciate you so much. Obviously, you could have done this however the hell you wanted to. You could have handled this in a variety of different ways that a lot of people would have probably told you to do so. You doing it here and you being the dude that you've been to been to us, like, we are so thankful and grateful. We appreciate the hell out of you, man. Yeah. Just want you to be happy. Literally. That's all we care about. Massive respect.
I am.
Bro. Good.
I am.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Take care. Ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to a break, and then.
Okay, guys, there you have it. Boom. I know, first time you're hearing from me in a little while. I tried to be as quiet as I could during all of that. Holy crap, guys. Aaron Rodgers, New York Jets, let's freaking go. Now, as we talked about before, I'm about to lose my gosh darn mind, baby. I'm about to lose my freaking bananas because it's real. It's real. While a trade may not be done, and Aaron Rodgers cleared out. I took a lot of notes during the show, and I'll share a lot of these. We'll be on for a little bit here, like reacting, and I'm going crazy, and I think we'll we'll take a step back. We'll take a few hours, kind of like let it simmer down, and then we'll do a live stream with a bunch of notes and quotes, and I can really try to, understand what the hell just happened, because there was a lot there. Rodgers commented on the Joe Namath jersey thing, the OBJ thing, the wish list, the meeting. There's so much to digest that I think we'll, again, do that a little bit right here. We'll take a break, and then I'll be back on youtube.com/boygreen25 and hopefully some of these other platforms as well to dive in. But here are a couple of things. That while the trade may not be official, Aaron Rodgers said it wasn't me holding it up. It's the Packers who are dragging their feet. So, okay. And by the way, Trey Wingo is a gosh darn god, baby. Bow down to Trey Wingo. Aaron Rodgers, I took a bunch of notes, but Aaron Rodgers confirmed that the trade has been everything's all cool beans since last Friday. Trey Wingo was correct on that nugget. Also, that he wants to play for the Jets. Aaron Rodgers just said that publicly. All the leverage, quote unquote, the Packers had to drag their feet to the draft and all this other crap. That leverage, boop, gone. Now, I'm not saying Aaron Rodgers getting traded for a 7th round pick. That's not what I'm saying. But this multiple 1st round pick business, nah. It was BS then earlier this morning. It's BS now. There's no way in hell. First off, why would Aaron Rodgers want the team that's acquiring him to weaken themselves to such a matter that they're going to give up crippling stuff? He doesn't, and they're not. So let's pull that on right back. He took power back in his hands by saying, hey, I'm going to be a member of the Jets. Like, that's going to happen. Again, He is playing football in 2023. Confirmed that. Number one, no retirement. Put that away. Although he did say heading into the darkness, 90% retirement, 10% play was his mindset heading into the darkness, coming out when the Packers said, nah, we don't want you and everything else. And he had his own clarity. That's what came up from that standpoint. So interesting nugget there. And by the way, before I go through the rest of my notes, like the video, guys. If you haven't already, hit subscribe. I know I haven't been able to talk much during the stream, but we will clip out that video. I can't, when like all of a sudden you're like, whoa, what is he saying? What is he saying? Oh my God, he just said it. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. And it got a little bit when Pat McAfee was talking. Oh my gosh. Aaron Rodgers is coming. Yeah. Woo-hoo-hoo. Now, so for all the people, this is the big news here. Aaron Rodgers has publicly said, I'm playing football and I want to play for the Jets. That's my intention. Now all the rest can be figured out. Relief. Okay? Because we didn't know that was a thing. We didn't know that he wanted to play for the Jets. You want to play for the Jets? You want to do this? Want to do that? He wants to play for the Jets. Now the two sides can figure out the trade. Now all that's over. Aaron Rodgers has publicly said he wants to play for the Jets. He's going to play for the Jets. Now it's about figuring out the formality. That's great. It's a massive relief. I'm no longer on the edge of my seat anymore. I am firmly planted. My ass is firmly planted in the back of the seat. We are in a great spot. Oh my gosh. This is amazing, guys. Aaron friggin' Rodgers. Oh yeah. So we'll see. Anywho, back to it here. A couple of notes and quotes. Aaron Rodgers said that basically the Trey Wingo was dead right. So there you go. Trey Wingo got all kinds of juicy stuff there. The Jets meeting, random notes there. He said it was a nice visit, and the paparazzi caught the attention because the Jets license plate, their cars were in the streets. Paparazzi found it. They found them. He thought that was funny. He said to the Jets in that meeting, he was, quote, not ready to make a decision, but obviously, after a week of like kind of going through his normal regime of football stuff, he was good to go there. Packers dragging feet. That's from Aaron Rodgers, and they want the moon and the stars. Again, we'll get some of those specific quotes and clips for happening. He has been, quote, hands off in terms of compensation of like saying, no, it's only going to be this, only going to be that. He can go that aggressive if he'd like, but so far it's been hands off. Decision has been made since Friday, and today is Wednesday. So this decision has been made since Trey Wingo thought it was. And then there's a few other nuggets of the OBJ stuff, wish list stuff, and all that. We're going to get to that. Like I said, we're going to just take a few hour break. We'll be back on. There's going to be plenty of coverage of this. Of course, I've got a bunch of guests that were lined up to speak about this. So we'll get to some of those guys. A lot of coverage coming, some awesome insiders, superstars, all kinds of things to break this down, because now it's a formality. Figure out the trade. Aaron Rodgers wants to be a member of the Jets. We heard from the Packers that they will acquiesce to whatever he wants. Let's freaking go. And let me end with a couple of notes and quotes here. First off, guys, thanks for doing this unique project. We've never done some sort of joint live stream like this. So I'd love to hear your guys' feedback once the video is done being live. Drop it in the comments and I'll go through them. I'm curious for future events if we do stuff like this. Also, like the video, hit subscribe. We surpassed 4,000 subscribers last night. We're only shooting even higher. So that's amazing. But Aaron Rodgers is going to be a member of the Jets. It's just about finding the path now to get him there. We could say that now with 100% confidence, which feels great. Super Bowl, the Jets are going all in, baby. They're going all in. They're going to start chasing anyone Aaron Rodgers wants and doesn't want, for that matter, and just adding talent to this team. Watch out. Here's my warning. Watch out, Buffalo. Watch out, Miami. New England. LOL. Losers. All of that. Watch out, baby, because the New York Jets are coming. We're coming. We're snatching souls. We're catching bodies. We're doing it all, baby. It's the pep and the step. Oh, my gosh, who's going to be our quarterback? Oh, yeah, who's going to be our quarterback? Aaron Rodgers is going to be our quarterback. Buy the jerseys, baby. Let's go. Although that's the one thing I will share that note. We'll have more on that later. Joe Namath offered the number 12 to Rodgers. Rodgers said he saw it. But there'll be time for that conversation before. He said the big point of this live stream thing with Pat McAfee was to clear up some stuff. He took body shots at Diana Rossini, took body shots at Adam Schefter. Those were kind of funny. And he just laid it on the line. I will tell you, early on when he said it's not about a decision today, I went, oh, no. Rodgers, don't do this to me, man. But then he gave like a little nugget, like the decision's been made. And I went, whoa. Wait, what does he mean? So I said first, no, God, no. Wait, yes, no, yes, no, yes. So it's a little up and down there during that stream. But ultimately, we got it. Beautiful. Guys, enjoy this. Like I said, like the video. Hit subscribe down below. Stay tuned. We're going to write a ton of articles for the Heavy on Jets page. Jets were also a place where we're streaming some Aaron Rodgers angles. We're going balls to the wall. We're going crazy. And, guys, I hope you guys can enjoy it for us. So thank you so much for joining us on this live stream. Awesome. Shout out to the Pat McAfee Show for getting this great get for the Pat McAfee Show to have Aaron Rodgers talk about this on their show. So cool. Friggin' awesome. And I'm looking forward to speaking with each and every one of you here in a little bit. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. And make sure you stay tuned. Like I said, Boy Green's YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/BoyGreen25. We're going to have plenty of coverage coming, baby. Woohoo! Yeah! That's how we do. Let's go.